So developing games for kids is different from developing for, I guess, regular games, mainly because of, I guess, the kids' experience and where they are in their, I guess, the development cycle. So a lot of the time, kids have very basic understandings of controls, which adults, it's taken for granted that you can swipe, you can use keyboards, you can use mouse. Whereas for kids, you need to have very simple kind of one-touch control systems in order for them to actually be able to kind of navigate and enjoy the game. Incorporating ads into an app or a game for kids is probably quite similar to how you would do it for adults. But the main thing is just making sure or reinforcing kind of the positive that they will get from watching the ad. So whether it's you get an extra bonus point, you get an extra life, all of these probably work really well for adults. But what doesn't work for kids is if you just at a random point just show an ad, not explaining the context, not explaining what benefit they're going to get from it. If you do that, you're more likely going to get the kid just leaving the app and not playing again. Localization for me is probably one of the core things that we can do when making a game. So kids in a lot of European countries, they learn English at a very young age. But it will never be at a level where they can fully understand the core game and what's actually happening. And one of the things that we do see with kids and with parents is as soon as the kid is struggling and the game is not localized, they immediately blame the game. And as parents, they want to see their kids succeed. They always want an experience that they will definitely understand. With localizing apps, you also just get a richer experience for the kids, so they will keep coming back to the app rather than playing it once, not really understanding, clicking a few buttons and then leaving. If they can fully understand it and it's localized, they will keep coming back, and you can kind of create a fan that will keep playing the app again and again and again, which is ultimately what we're wanting to achieve. With every game, and whether it's both for kids or whether it's for adults, you never know how well the game is going to perform. We have certain criteria that we think make a successful game for kids, but ultimately it is down to luck. So sometimes you can have a game where you think you've done everything perfectly, you've integrated ads in the best possible way, you've got a great storyline, you've localized the whole thing, you've got VO, everything from your perspective is perfect, but for whatever reason, the app just doesn't start getting downloaded. And what we find is the first few weeks, probably similar with all game types, is if it's not successful in the first few weeks, you are always going to face an uphill battle to actually get it into the charts, which is ultimately kind of how a game becomes very successful, is it gets in the charts, kids see it, they download it, it remains in the charts, and so the cycle continues. So you can do everything that you think is going to work, but ultimately it is in the hands of the gods as to whether it will become a true success. Focus on who the target audience is going to be for your game. So kids, we use the kids term broadly, which generally is from 4 to 12, 13. But a 4-year-old is fundamentally different from a 12, 13-year-old. They've grown up, they've learnt to read, they've learnt to write. They're just fundamentally very, very different. So to get a game that will appeal to a 4-year-old, you need to be very simplistic, have very simple controls, have very simple game mechanics. But when you're coming into a 12, 13-year-old, they're aspiring to be a teenager. They want more complicated game mechanics. They want progression. They need a lot of kind of user feedback. So focusing on who you want the game to work for is going to be fundamental in making sure that you make a game that the age range of the kids that you're targeting actually want to play and will keep playing again and again.